poppin', everybody? This your boy Kelvyn Colt, and we're here today with the mind of
Max Gold,
my brother and collaborator on the visual side of things now for quite some time, right?
Yeah.
How long have we known each other for?
7 years at least.
7 years. Damn.
Something around that.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yes,
and,
it is.
For those of you who follow him or me and what we create, and I'm consciously saying we here because we tend to work together on almost anything and everything visually. So music videos, pictures, when we collaborate with other brands or even other artists. When I do features, I always say when we shoot the music video, I suggest that Max does it, and my new rule is if Max don't shoot it, I'm not appearing in it. So
that's how it is.
Amen. And we have come up with a little special thing, which we're gonna reveal halfway through the video, not right now. First of all, let's get to know Max Gold.
Yeah.
My brother, tell us about yourself. How long have you been doing videos and photography for?
I mean, started probably at that time we met. So
back then in Wiesbaden, Germany.
Yeah. But that, I mean, you know what we did back then.
Yeah.
That was nothing compared to the quality and the style we have today.
Amen.
And back then it was more like a hobby, just casually taking pictures like everyone else.
The first video we shot in our living room in Wiesbaden back then.
And it never came out, and that is good. So fast forward, I mean, some time passed by and some other things happened, and I think like since 3 years I'm actually doing it, or doing what I do. And and also the progress in that time was immense.
Yeah, definitely. When was the first time you picked up a camera?
First time that I actually picked up a camera, probably around 9 years ago or something.
Why? What camera was that? Where?
Yeah. The first camera I got was from my dad. It was a Christmas present.
Just like that, or you had an interest in photography?
Yeah, I definitely had an interest in photography. Also, my granddad was a photographer, so that's how the connection came with that. And then what? You remember that you gave me a camera as well when we first did the tour. You gave me one, and I gave it back to you at some point. But I had it for a long time actually.
I don't remember you giving it back to me.
I did.
Okay. Yeah, shit. Oh yeah, the EOS 600D. Yeah.
It was actually yours. Wow. Yeah. Back then, when we started working, you had a better camera than me, so.
I gotta provide for the team. What y'all saying? What y'all saying? Okay, amazing. And then, at what point did you realize, okay, this is what you want to be doing professionally, and not just as a hobby?
Photography and video, or more video. How it turns out now, because we're actually more doing video. It actually happened when everything what we did popped off, and everything, like, we get more jobs and everything more got requested, and I think that's the time where you'd be like, okay, that's gonna work out.
Would you say there was one specific piece that you or we, in essence, created that you feel like put you on the map? Like, was there a changing moment?
From a business side, definitely our Hypebeast Levi's thing. So the first commercial job we did, probably. I think from that came a lot of jobs, came a lot of stuff, but also every music video we put out, because since then people contacted me because of music videos, and I think that's. But it's still progress. It's not one point where it was like, okay, now
everything is changing
everywhere, but
comes step by step.
Yeah, it's coming over the last 2 days.
What makes you accept a job, and are there things you say no to, or is it everybody with money gets the
It depends, man. I have to pay some bills, you know what it is.
It depends on how big the bag is.
But I tend to do when I can, obviously, just accept jobs that I like, and jobs that seem interesting, jobs that seem challenging, and but in the end, if I have nothing else to do and someone offers me a job where I'll be like, this can be fun and it and it gets me some money, I'm gonna do it. But I'm always.
So you go by feeling if it connects with you.
I'm still picky. It's not that I'd be like, I do everything when money is involved. I'm gonna do it if it sounds.
Do you have certain things where you're like, oh, I would never do this. I would never work with that brand or that kind of person, or no?
There are definitely brands that that I'm not gonna name, but if the whole environment of the brand is weird and they don't have like close to my values, I'm gonna skip on that, of course.
Does that also go for artists?
Yes.
Even if they're really big and like...
Of course. Like there are definitely some artists out there that I
would never work.
I mean, there are definitely people just from a personal how I have the feeling that they are, I would hate them, and then I also don't like the music. Then
it's not gonna work.
It's not that I'm gonna be like, no, I never want to work with you. But if they ask me now, I'll be like, nah, I don't need that.
How important is it to have more than just technical skill? Because for those of you who know Max, this guy's fucking hilarious.
I mean, the technical skills is one thing, but for me it's way more about style. Because
what do you mean by that, style?
Because I can pick up a VHS camera, and like at that point in time where everyone shoots in VHS, that's a whole nother story, but back then I can pick up an iPhone, I can pick up whatever, and if I have a nice style, I can work with it. But if I just have technical skills, I can technically make it look cool because I can switch to 4K or whatever and have a crispy image. But if I have no style, this is gonna not look good.
So if you wanna sort of progress as a videographer or photographer or just somebody working visually, you have to find the right balance of knowledge when it comes to your craft, but also having an aesthetic. Is that something that you have just like natural sauce, or is it that something that you can also learn and develop?
You can definitely develop that. I mean, obviously you're born with something, but it's also in which environment you work and stuff that you do, and then you progress in your style and you find different styles you like, combine them, and
so it's also kind of who you work with.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I mean, I don't think that it's something you can't learn, but you still have to have a feeling what's cool and what's not. I mean, that is also very subjective, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna find your style, and even maybe it's not the style that everyone likes, but it still can be a cool style.
Your own swag.
Yeah, it's always about finding your own style and your own.
Yeah, because I find it because I've obviously also, saying where you work with other artists, I've worked with other videographers, and it's very interesting to compare how how important the vibe is, not only on set but also before the whole thing, because like the way we work, we come up with the concept and we shoot it together, and then I occupy his crib and we edit the thing together. So yeah, and if you don't get along with somebody, it's gonna fuck up the entire process, right? Exactly.
And that's also a very important fact. And that's also comes back to the point where you be like, if there would be an artist I don't want to work with, and that is a big fact. So if I go to that artist, and even though I don't like his music, but I think he's a nice guy and everything works out and we have a great connection, then it's fine.
Create something great.
And you can create something very good and very nice. But if you work with someone who's just not good to work with, the product's not gonna be as good as it is with us.
Which brings me to the next point, which we are, I feel like, experts in, which is creativity beats budget.
Oh yes.
Because a lot of people have come to me, and I guess you've made a similar experience, where they're like, oh, you guys, you have so much money for the music videos and blah blah blah. And it's like, no, we don't. Like we've shot videos for close to nothing. We've shot videos with nothing, and we've shot videos on a, let's say, 10,000 budget, which is, compared to what we started with, a whole lot of money, but compared to what we're up against in the industry, what we're that we're operating in, and the artists that we are competing with, not a lot at all. That's like their styling budget. So it is very, very interesting to see that the moment I feel like you get access to more budget, if you're not really careful, you try to solve creative problems with budget, and that's when you end up having videos that look like everything else.
True.
Right? So it's like, I don't know, a beautiful vintage car, in my opinion, will always, it depends obviously on what you're communicating, but like, if you want to, let's say, you know, communicate a scene of lifestyle, and a classy car will always be way more impressive than just a blatantly expensive car, right?
Yeah.
I mean, same with fashion. You can style yourself amazingly on a very small budget or no budget, versus to just buying expensive stuff.
Yeah.
Is that also on the like equipment wise the same thing, or does the equipment always need to have a certain? Because I hear a lot of videographers or photographers, and they're like, ooh, I need to have this camera, like, oh, Kelvyn, come shoot with me. I have, I don't know, a red.
The thing is, for my taste, with video and photography is a little bit different, since I think that you can do a lot more with a bad camera in photography more than in video. But still, like, you know, our setup. It's not a big thing. We're not shooting on a red or whatever, and still people tend to think that. So it's also again the style and skill thing again, because you can have a red, you can have a even more expensive camera, but if you don't know how to operate it and really get your own, get the most out of it and get your own style into this, it's not gonna look good. So it doesn't really depend on the gear you have,
but on the operator of
the operator, and also on what you do out of it. So in editing and everything.
And talking about that, you're way more than just a photographer and a videographer, because you also do graphic design, right? So Max also sits together with me and the rest of my team across the whole brand universe that we're building around me as Kelvyn Colt, you know, the Triple Black Heart Gang. And we have also designed something quite cool. I'm very excited about that because, as you can see, a beautiful view out here. We're in Havana, we're in Cuba. And one of the things that Cuba is probably known for the most, apart from cigars, is rum. And we've teamed up with Havana rum to create this beautiful bottle. It's one of our first proper collaborations, right, that we're doing with a brand where we're teaming up. And let's speak about a little bit about the process on how this beautiful, probably most beautiful bottle ever has come about. What was the idea behind the design of it? Because I remember we hit you up and we're like, yo, we gotta design a bottle. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, you see what it is now, and as you can see on the sides, on each side, you see an already existing image, not new to the people probably right now.
Which is the cover of the Mind of Cold Part 1 EP.
And that's it. So we mirrored it in the middle, so you have it on both sides, just to make it a little bit more interesting and you have not as much space. And then from there we just did whatever came to our mind and it looked cool.
Amen. Yeah, but we infused, so basically infused the traditional style of the Havana bottle, right?
Yeah.
And took the original elements. Do we have a bottle here for comparison? Yes. Do not question why this bottle is empty. So no, this is the original bottle, and as you can see, if you hold them next to another, so a lot of the elements were kept, but then we've included obviously the TBHG in here, and there as well, where originally here they have the signature, and instead of El Ron de Cuba, we have Kelvyn Colt written over it. Also, I think very exciting is this part, which is reflective, and on the original bottle is only red.
And it's also, what we also wanted to do, obviously, we wanted to create something very unique, would never has never done before. So since we already switched to a red background, which is pretty interesting, which also I think not done very often before, but what was never done before is switching the color in the middle to a more like a now gray black looking type of thing. Because before it was, I think there's one edition yellow, but other than that it was almost everywhere kept to red. And so we reversed that, and also this has a slightly rainbow flip-flop kind of lens to it.
So it's a metallic look, so if you hold it into the light, it's reflective. But what personally to me is the most exciting part about this is, so on the back of the original bottle there's the story of Havana rum, and we have changed that to, because obviously everything that we do comes with a message, and we wanted to find a way to, in a credible and authentic way, still keep our values, our ethos, and our experience with, you know, the Triple Black Hog Gang and me as an artist, keep that on the bottle. So we have a little message here in the back that we were actually quite surprisingly allowed to keep, because usually brands are very strict on, especially when it comes to alcohol, you know, and what is on the back. You can read it, but I'm going to read it out real quick as well. The only one who holds the power to direct the course of your life is you. Every action you take becomes part of your individual journey, leading you closer to or further away from your goal. So be conscious of your decisions. Make sure to travel on this path at your own speed, and you will realize there is no need to rush or compare yourself to others. Enjoy carefully, as whatever mindset you currently hold will be enhanced. Which I think is a very nice message to have on the bottle, because I guess with alcohol, especially me being an artist who is so conscious of like what I say and what I put out into the world, because I'm very much aware of the impact everything I do and everything I say has. I'm not only, you know, that person that goes out to the world and wants to change the world. I'm still a human being. I like to celebrate. I like to party. And I think it is super exciting to have the opportunity to create one of hopefully way more upcoming collaborations with different entities to, you know, just bring you people cool stuff, limited stuff. I'm just looking at it and I can't believe we actually.
It's crazy. And it's also, I mean, what I like most about this project, and also we did your vinyl together.
Yeah.
These two are so important to me, because these two are things that are really physical.
Yes. Yes.
You can hold it in your hands, and at that point of time where it's only social media, you only
everything is digital.
Yeah, everything is digital. Everything is so fast and gone in a minute. And we have this, and that actually can stay forever.
Yeah, it's real, and like you will be able to hold it in your hands. I mean, not everyone who's watching this, but you know, a few limited amount of y'all. And there's two things I wanna quickly say here. One of them, obviously, being that I think you did an amazing job. You did an amazing job of keeping the branded experience of Havana, but also of me. In that bottle, like if you look at the original bottle and then this bottle, and then I wish we had the vinyl here, but we will blend it in, we'll have it next to each other, and you can see how the bottle looks exactly like the vinyl, and then at the same time exactly like this one. And then the last point, and I think this is the most crucial statement from this interview, and it's pretty much the bottom line of everything. Like, we were sitting a few years ago in my living room with a camera, and it was just his hobby, and we were shooting the first music video, and now like we're creating not only real product, but we're creating, you know, music videos. We're traveling around the world. We're sitting here in Cuba exporting our own rum. And in regards to the music video which we shot here, which you're gonna see, which is, that's a film, y'all. I'm not trying to gas y'all up, but it is. And I remember we were sitting in your crib, and when we were like, okay, let's fly to Cuba, let's create a story video-wise on how we're exporting our own rum from Cuba. And you were like, oh, yeah, then we need to have that shot where I film the crates coming from the truck and being loaded into an airplane. And when we had the last scene on the airfield yesterday,
Yes.
and he almost forgot that shot. I had to remind him of it.
So much going on.
Yeah, because he has so much going on. But all that I'm saying with that is like, you have a thought and you can actually transform that thought if you build the right people and if you work long enough and hard enough for it, you can turn that literally into reality. But in order for your thoughts to turn into reality, you gotta speak them out, literally speak them into reality, and then let action follow your words. And that is and then you have a fucking physical product at the end of the day.
That's what it is.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for everything.
I thank you, bro.
Pleasure.
Love you.